Welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I am Aaron, and Ken, you did call it. Actually, a couple people called it here, and that was exciting. This is probably about as big as it can get when you're looking into the vampire films that could come up. I got a lot of hate yesterday after my video on Twitter and on here. There were some very nice people, and for that, thank you so much because I appreciate that. But some people really ragged on me because I said that this had to be a big deal to be like to anchor, and I said that the film Vampire's Kiss wasn't a big enough deal to anchor a sale like this, and I wasn't wrong. Anyways, I take great knowledge in that right now. I went through quite the anxiety yesterday on here with you guys making the video. I went from nervously optimistic to the end of the video when I looked at the Severin sale FAQ and getting extremely optimistic. And then, hey there, Griff. And then today happened. I waited and waited. I checked. Hey, Mr. Tony, man, welcome. I got to check out your video that you did yesterday. I'm sorry I wasn't there for it. I was doing a live video, and then I passed out. It's a much better. It is. I think we were trolled. I do. I think we were trolled. And that being said, I'm going to make a kind of bold prediction. Now, this is just a prediction. This is a guess. For those who don't know, the rights to Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood of Dracula for a long period of time were really, really hard to come by. You could rent it. You could even probably rent it for a theater, but getting the rights to actually do the film is a different story to actually put it out. Somehow, though, magic was worked, and Udo Kier's Dracula film is coming out, which, by the way, is fantastically artsy, extremely well shot, and funny as hell, and in the good way. But what does this mean? What else does this mean aside from the fact that, okay, Severin, you just won the halfway Friday sale. It's not a contest, but if this was a contest between what Vinegar Syndrome put up for the halfway sale and what Severin put up for the halfway sale, this is a winner. Yeah, early Criterion releases that, unfortunately, because of the rights issues, never ever made it to Blu-ray or even had a good Criterion release. Now, it was called, not Cult Epic, something like that, some kind of like Cult Cinema, I think, put it with kind of with no features on it. But that's how you can get locally there in the locally for you in Australia. This is going to be loaded to the gills, apparently. This is going to have the CD soundtrack. This is going to have 4K. And this is where we get into Flesh for Frankenstein, which Severin has already said they're not putting it out, right? I like the Cinema Cult. I don't have any Cinema Cult line, but I do like their look at their stuff. So we know for sure 100% Severin will not be putting out the Flesh for Frankenstein. They have told us it's not happening. But what does that mean? Yeah, let's look for it. Right now I'm looking for something in particular, but I'll show you guys in a second. Something that should be fun. So we don't see a comment for a second, or it's just I'm looking at something. And hopefully I should be able to find it. So let's do a search. Oh, damn it. I can't believe this is going to be so hard for me, guys. Oh, wait a minute. I have it. I'll just send it to me through here. Mug. Hey there, Dave. Hey, Ricky. Blood for Dracula, the Andy Warhol, Paul Morrissey film. It's getting a 4K release, a loaded 4K release. And I'm not going to lie, that's a bit of a shock. And then, like, the people guessed it. Ken guessed it. Other people on here came on and guessed, Blood of Dracula. That's the one getting the 4K release. And I was not. Did not buy it. Wasn't sure. Didn't think it was going to happen. I'm trying to find something for you guys now. So here we go. November 2021. Vinegar Syndrome. There's one 4K UHD, 3 other horror films, 1 3D, and 4K UHD title. Why are we talking about that? Because Flesh for Frankenstein is 3D. Flesh for Frankenstein is 3D. Vinegar Syndrome have hyped up their 3D as being a title coming in November as a big groundbreaking 3D title, an important one. That's what he said. Both Justin and Brad from Vinegar Syndrome were quick to like the upcoming Blood for Dracula, saying that was a very important release that was being put out, which they definitely do as fans. But it makes sense that they'd like it. They're different. I mean, there's definitely an artsy feel to them, Ricky, but they're gorgeously done films. Udo Kier plays Dracula. I can't say the famous quote from Flesh for Frankenstein, but you can look it up. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to, on a limb, I'm going to call it right now. November, Black Friday package. We're going to complete that duology. And we're getting Blood for Dracula now from Severin. We're going to get Flesh for Frankenstein from Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, Rottweiler or Tales of Third Dimension. 3D films. But the key part to this, and I said this yesterday, and people got mad at me. When I said that Vampire's Kiss, like, and not that I got something against Vampire's Kiss, I just didn't think it suited what they're saying in the clues. Is that they said that Vinegar Syndrome said that the 3D title that's coming out in November is an important 3D title, kind of a groundbreaking 3D title. That's great, Mike. It is a fantastic time to be a collector. Rottweiler doesn't fit that. Tales of the Third Dimension doesn't fit that. Parasite Parasite was put up by Kino, I think. Wasn't it? I'd have to check, but I thought it was put up by Kino. So it doesn't leave us a lot to go with, right? But it does leave the option that we could be getting Flesh from Frankenstein. You know they're going to be. And this, if that happens, if Flesh for Frankenstein happens, that is the second Vinegar Syndrome title that's come to Criterion, and is the first Severin title that's been on Criterion before. So the line between the boutique labels, it's blurring, man. It's really blurring. And some people thought, oh, you know, Criterion is all the important stuff, but Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, they got good stuff, but they don't have any like really important films. They don't have any like stuff like Criterion worthy films. These films are, according to Criterion themselves, Criterion worthy films. Hell, Patty Hearst was a Criterion worthy film. Any Paul Schrader is. Actually, I think you might be right. The Great White, The Last Shark, with the mystery slip saying Jaws returns. I 100% think you're right. PFI released an Andy Milligan film. Which one did they release? Actually, I don't know, because I'm seriously asking you. This is cool. This is cool time. It's a cool friggin' time to be a collector. Notice the difference in me now from yesterday. There is one more surprise title coming from Severin, Ken, but it's not going to be announced until after the sale has started. This is interesting. Some people don't like this. I actually like this. In that on the 26th, the day after the sale starts, there will be a limited edition title, exclusive title, that's going to be announced and come out on the sale. We will go over this stuff. I went over it yesterday in like fairly quickly because it was coming near the end of the video. People say that Severin gets the better titles overall, but Vinegar Syndrome does better packaging and bonus features. That's a pretty fair assessment, but it's getting closer. And I think the title that really made it seem closer for me, and if you don't have the Severin title, I will strongly recommend it for you. Legal slipcover, you gotta love that, man. I love my Jaws 5 slipcover. Is this. Severin put out a movie called Skinner. It is an extremely low budget kind of like thriller. It's not a slasher film, so don't go and think it's a slasher. It stars Ted Raimi as a serial killer. He kills and skins these prostitutes and people around him. Tracy Lords plays somebody that got away from him, that was scared by him, and is hunting him down. And Ricky Lake plays the landlady of the place that he's staying at, and he seems like romantically interested in her. What's very important about the movie Skinner isn't that. Like, it's a good movie. Like, let's get that out of the way. It's a good film. It's well acted. It's well done. It's extremely well shot. But it was done by, and I'm going to get the name wrong, so I do apologize ahead of time. It was produced by Ivan Nagy. And if that name doesn't sound familiar, it's probably because I got the name wrong. But it's produced by the guy that was the boyfriend of the Hollywood Madam and was strongly rumored to have some alleged ties to some pretty shady up there type of people. So every feature on the Skinner Blu-ray takes a different look at the film, from talking to him and to talking to the editor, to talking to one of the actors. And it's fascinating. Not only do you get to learn about why the film probably didn't succeed, the Hollywood Madam scandal, but you get to learn a bit about what he was really like, and why he was, why some people were very, very scared of him. So features like that are very important. Not only did they put the film in the context, but they put the history of it in the context as well. And for me, that's a huge deal. So if you don't have Skinner, pick it up during sale. It will be on sale. So, but Ken, yes, there will be one more title. We'll check them out. We'll look at the titles. We'll look at the 2 bundles that are out there. I'll be doing donation videos from now to the sale because, hell yeah, why not? But let's go. Let's look at the stuff right now. First, let's look at the amazing artwork that has been done for Blood for Dracula, and it was done by Elizabeth Yu. I hope I pronounced the name correctly, but she did a. Hey there, John. I'm going to say this. I will pun it up. A bloody good job on it. And well, wrong one. What the hell? Go back to me because that's not the window we're supposed to share. So let's remove. And let's share the right window. There we go. This is the cover for Blood for Dracula. Of course, Andy Warhol Presents, a film by Paul Morrissey. Severin has been definitely getting way more into the European stuff. And I love the fact that we're seeing more of that from Vinegar Syndrome as well. But Severin really has been a trailblazer for this type of stuff. You can go back and look years ago with Severin stuff and the stuff, the European titles that they put out, the Italian titles, the Australian titles. They've always done this. It's not like most of the films of the Chris release. I know they've been amazing. Hey there, Kubrick. A Criterion film on Severin, man. Those have been fantastic to watch, by the way. For those that aren't like yet sub to Master Chaos, he's a really nice guy, and I definitely recommend. And his channel is fantastic, so I definitely recommend that you sub to the guy. If you see a name pop up on this screen, like commenting, and you haven't subbed to them yet, a lot of the people that you see commenting on here have their own YouTube channels, and they've got some pretty fantastic YouTube channels. For those that didn't see, I did a video last night with Disconnected, who is criminally underrated, by the way, and Flip Otaku. And speaking of like podcasts, which I wasn't, but Kubrick said Dead Pure Radio, which y'all should be listening to. But this here is gorgeous. This is fantastic looking. I can see this gives me the feel of Pale Blood. Now, for those that picked up Pale Blood when Vinegar Syndrome had the slipcover of it, then you'll know that a lot of these like white heavy covers with the red look stunning, like extremely more stunning in person. And I think that this is going to be like that. This looks great now. The artist did an amazing job. Like that is incredible. Like job of Viru Kier's like Dracula. But in your hands, I got a feeling this is going to stand out. This is going to be a standout release, not just from the release itself, but just the artwork on this release. This wins the halfway battle that doesn't exist except in the fans' minds. It really does. I'm glad someone else reminds me of Pale Blood too. It's a gorgeous artwork, Kubrick. And I think if you don't have this one in your Criterion collection, Kubrick, it is a definitely worthy film. This is going to be a 4K, a Blu-ray 4K release, loaded with features. There's going to be a CD of the soundtrack as well. And I was with when Disconnected was on last night when I was in the video that I was in with him. He talked about how good Perdido Durango was as a 4K release from Severin. And this is another 4K release from Severin. This will be my first 4K release that I pick up from Severin because, unless something like happens, if I only get one title from this Severin sale, and as much as I want the Jess Franco stuff, and I'm kind of curious on the mystery title, this is going in the cart first, guys. This is the very first thing that goes into the cart, and if nothing else goes into my cart, I know that this is a worthy film to own, and to own in the best possible quality. They could have put out a Blu-ray. They could have done like a Blu-ray with the soundtrack. Hey there, Richard. Welcome, man. But they didn't. What they did instead was they gave this the premium Criterion Vinegar Syndrome Arrow video level release. And I think as we see the features come out, we're going to be very, very, very surprised. They said it's pretty stacked with features. I'm interested in the CD. Did I get trolled? In a way, I mean, like, I was surprised that some of the people that kind of were nasty, Mr. Tony, about my comments on Vampire's Kiss, which, again, like, for those that like didn't get it yesterday, it's not a film that I don't like. I own a copy of Vampire's Kiss. It's just, I just didn't think it's a title that can anchor a sale. This can. Like, I had people like tweeting me and saying things like, Vampire's Kiss has been out for years and people really want that. I'm like, it's been 2 years, man. It's been 2 years. It hasn't been long. It went out of print in 2019. It was released in 2015. You had 4 years. I'm sure there's going to be a great release of Vampire's Kiss coming down the road. I was glad hopefully there won't be a banner. Severin's good for stuff like this. I'm not sure if you picked them up or not, if you're like a Jess Franco fan, but they did these two like releases, these Jess Franco Soledad and Miranda releases. And there were, let me think again. She Killed in Ecstasy and Vampire Lesbos. Anywhere I produced the film, and I guess it would have something to do with probably some of the writing, but it is a Paul Morrissey directed film. I can't. I actually wanted to buy the entire bundle. We're going to look at the price of the bundle, by the way. We're going to look at the price of the bundles. We're going to look at the titles. Yeah, get overboard. So for those that were like nice and like responded nicely, thank you so much. For those that canceled their Patreon because of yesterday's video, because somebody did, and I'm guessing that's the reason, I'm sorry that you were bothered by it. All right, so let us go to Severin. Luckily, yesterday, near the end of the video, when you guys here, let me know all about this. This announcement, John, is freaking fantastic. Exactly. See, and that's the thing. To be fair, I didn't hate on Severin yesterday. I just thought, as I said, and I stand by it, Vampire's Kiss, good film. Is it worthy of like a 4K release? Maybe. Is it worthy to anchor a big lineup like this? No, in my opinion, no. And again, a big shout out to my son who is 21 today. So happy birthday to Wesley. I'm just bringing up this here so I can actually look at this. It wasn't the level. I really don't think it was the level for to do something like that. But I think they troll us. And they kind of made us think that it could be. And I think they did that on purpose. So props to them. You got me, guys. You got me. Are you ready to look into this? We started looking into this last night, but it was late in the video and I was pretty tired. Scream Factory are going into business because Amazon. No, I don't think so, Jesse. I mean, like Scream Factory is a subsidiary of Shout, and they can just pretty much go on fairly easily. More than likely, they're just probably just trying to get rid of certain titles. Keep a list of what those titles are. Those might be titles that are going out of print, Jesse, but that might be the reason for it. Sometimes before a title goes out of print, Scream Factory usually has like a limited window on how long the older titles, how long the have title, the title's rights for. But this Ragnar, I don't think you have to worry. Hey there, Joel. Welcome, man. I think we're getting Frankenstein, Flesh for Frankenstein from Vinegar Syndrome. And I think that's how this worked. Vinegar Syndrome and Severin are fairly close. A lot of people think them as like serious competitors, but they've worked together before. I think that Severin has the rights to Blood for Dracula. And I think that Vinegar Syndrome has the rights to Flesh for Frankenstein. And that's what the November 3D release is coming out. I could be wrong. I have no prior knowledge. I'm just going on, I'm guesstimating. But it makes sense, right? Well, the blood movies be half off, like the ones I tagged you. Yes, actually. I was wondering what that tiki glass thing was. But yes, if you're talking about the Blood Island films and the Hemisphere horror films, they will be on sale. And we'll look into those too. So you're going to see me disappear for a minute, but I'll be able to see your comments because I got it right here on my trusty iPad, which because I'm a klutz, I got put into a nice OtterBox. Let's go. So as you can see, right here we're at the 50% Apocalypse sale. And I'm super stoked about this one. For those that missed it yesterday, I'll go over it really quickly here. But I'll take a little more time because I went through it very fast last time around. So let's look at what's excluded from the sale, first off, because that's important. Killer and Hard Bobby. Oh, man. It was the Hong Kong Rescue Puzzles, is that right? So, things not included are Perdido Durango, Day of the Beast, Scream in the Sheets, A Scream in the Streets, very different film. What a Freudian slip that was. Nosferatu in Venice, the Andy Milligan collection. Oh, damn. Grizzly, Day of the Animals, Santa Sangre, Deep Blood, the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee collection. I'm sure Master Cass is sad he can't get a second one. Strike Commando and Strike Commando 2. Invaders of the Lost Gold, and all current pre-orders, bundles. Now, some merchandise, but some merchandise will be heavily, heavily discounted. And when they say that it's heavily discounted, they really, 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 really mean that. A lot of times you can get yourself a t-shirt for $5 or $6, and that's actually pretty damn cool. As I go through this, it's time for my shilling. So if you're here and you like this video, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. There's a Patreon, a merchandise thing down below. If you're a Patreon member, you got a coupon for the merchandise. And as always, there is a donation link, which helps at the channel. Now, back to Severin, because I feel like it's like YouTubers are like, and like podcasters, we're like old-timey radio people, that we have our shows that we do, right? But we have to stop every once in a while to shill for if you like quicks thing, or if you're not just monetized, but if you got like a sponsor, like a Manscaped or something like that, there's always like this old school radio. That's why podcasting reminds me of old school radio, and that as well. I'll try to stop by, man, for sure. Have a great evening there, Tony. I will try to come in, man. So here we go. This is where it gets really interesting. This is where it gets super, super interesting. And here it is. Limited edition convention stock. These will not be on sale. Probably a good reason for that. Limited edition convention stock, it's gone, right? It's out of print. You go into the website, you can't buy it. It'll say, none available. But what this means, in my opinion, is that every title that I'm about to read out to you right now, they won't be on sale, but you'll be able to get them. And during the sale is the only time you're going to be able to get them. So, Blood on Satan's Claw. Yeah, that cool limited edition with the nice slipcover. Beast in the Cellar. Those go together. They're both Tygon releases. Skinner with the limited edition slipcover. Vi with limited edition slipcover. Revenge of the Living Dead Girls limited edition Blu-ray. And that one has a nice soundtrack with it too. Theater Bazaar Digipack. No Way Home limited edition. Enigma limited edition. Demonia limited edition. Shining Sex limited edition. Now remember, some of these limited editions actually have CD soundtracks with them as well. I noticed too, John, I was actually going to mention that. Castle of the Creeping Flesh with slip. The Attic Expeditions with 2-disc edition. And Tales of the Uncanny 2-disc. Unfortunately, John is right. It doesn't look like Bahia Blanca is there, though. But if you do see it come up during the sale, and you're getting into Franco, or you like Franco, or you're kind of wondering, hey, let's try some Franco, I recommend that title. But as of right now, we're not seeing it on the list. So for right now, we will assume that these are certainties for the sale. Not on sale. No, that's there. Not on sale, but you will be able to buy them. Now, some of these have regular standard editions. You may just want the standard edition. If you like, not really. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, the limited editions would not normally come Dead Pit to here. You got to think like this was convention stock, and for a lot of companies like Vinegar Syndrome, from like Severin, for places like that, there's certain amount that they put away so that they'll have like stuff when they go to conventions. Now, obviously, the world has not had a lot of conventions recently. There's more. They're starting to come out, but we basically at this point are benefiting from the lack of conventions. Once all the conventions and stuff are way up again, you're not going to see this again. This is not going to come up because they're going to be going to the conventions and they'll sell them there. But we still can benefit from the lack of conventions. Here you go. Oh no, I don't think it is, Jared. I think it's like shady business practices. I understand why they're doing it. I mean, like think of it this way: like, in order to like fund things like Blood for Dracula or Vi or certain like bigger, more prominent titles like that, or No Way Home, Buddy Giovanni, a lot of the money for that comes in like in their pre-sales and in their convention sales. And when you take off like this whole, like, basically when you turn off the faucet of convention sales, there's a whole like revenue that's gone, like that's gone for you. So they kind of have to find another way to keep that revenue stream going until things go back to normal again. And for right now, it means that convention titles, like, because it would be shady if they said, okay, these are limited edition, but then all of a sudden you can buy them all year round. But it's limited edition, and like for now, you can get them during the sales. So that's my thoughts anyway. Everybody got their own thoughts. But as a business guy, that's how I would do it. If my revenue stream had pretty much dried up, I would have to find another way to do it. And this seems to be the smartest way to go about it. From the film that gets a buzz over the sale. Yeah, exactly, due to a screening. Happened with Berserker. Dude, don't get it. Get the Lindsay Baker set. I'm saying, telling you, it's a great one. 4 films, 3 extremely like cool, like fun sleazy giallos, 1 more restrained giallo, 2 CD soundtrack. Hey there, Sierra. I am so excited you cannot believe it, and I am expecting Flesh for Frankenstein. And this is just my guess. November, when Vinegar Syndrome are putting out the 3D release. The limited edition book. Actually, the guy reached out to me. He actually reached out to a couple of people. Let's do that before we go any further. If I do get the book, I thought about it, like reaching out to him, see if I could get him on the channel or something. It's not a lie when it says Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. It's not a cannibal film in the like too gross way. So for me, it's good. But here it is. After the world ends, and post-apocalyptic movies who are telling the future. See some pages from right here. It has that cool like stress look to it, which I really dig. We can see it open up here, right here. Metropolis 2000. There we got like picture from Fred Williamson. Of course, that's from the Bronx trilogy that was put up by Enzo Castellari. We see another picture right here, and that, of course, is Raiders of Atlantis, or otherwise known as the Atlantis Interceptors. Not one of my favorites, but it's coming out, and a lot of people love this one, so that's on me. Paul says also labeled the Department of Vinegar Syndrome. You're correct. So it looks like a really cool book. They got around 400 of them. Some of them are going to be put with the bundles, but we'll get to that. Don't worry. So here are titles that are going to be 50% off the SRP for the very first time. And we'll go through the SRP as well. But complete Lindsay Baker Giallo collection. And here's the thing there. Revenge of the Living Dead, there's a standard edition. Nobody's making you buy the expensive edition. Revenge of the Living Dead Girls. You can buy the standard edition 50% off. Enigma, Demonia, The Beast Must Die, Shining Sex Standard Edition, Fulci for Fake. It's going to be its first time on sale. Cruel Jaws, I recommend that one. That's a laugh. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. If you collect, I'm not a big fan of primitives, but if you collect the video nasties, then primitives needs to be in your collection. Oh yeah, like William Lustig actually initially he worked with Anchor Bay first, and then he went on to do Blue Underground. I have not seen Fulci for Fake, but I want to see it. The Black Cat, it, of course, was written by Darren Nicolotti. She's acting that one as well. Rest in peace. Patrick Still Lives, if you like Patrick, but you want it to be sleazier. Well, here you go. Shock Treatment, Theater Bazaar, Plague Town, The Attic Expeditions, Castle of the Creeping Flesh, Family Portraits, and Tales of the Uncanny, the Standard Edition. Now, I would recommend, if you really wanted to, try to grab the Tales of the Uncanny, the limited edition, because you get an extra film with it. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How much are the new titles going to cost? What are the new titles? Do you want to buy the new titles? As I go through these here. Oh, David Gregory is obsessed with video nasties in a good way, and it has made it his goal to try and get as many video nasties out on the Severin label as he possibly can. That's a big deal for him, actually. Well, Jesse, your wait is over. So first off, we get Jess Franco's The House of Lost Women. It's a 2-disc limited edition Blu-ray and CD soundtrack, $28, and it is region free. Next up is Jess Franco's Black Boots Leather Whip. It is $24. It's going to be region free. It's a regular one disc one, much like the Bahia Blanca was. So this is much like the Shining Sex one and Bahia Blanca was. One was a 2-disc edition with a CD. The other one was a regular edition. I told you, man. Cardona is just not my jam, man. Some people love them, which it's just not my jam. Lucio Fulci's Warriors of the Year 2072, which for some reason yesterday I kept saying lost in here, and I don't know why. But it is a 2-disc limited edition Blu-ray, $28. It is Region A, so the first two is region free. Warriors of the Year 2072 is the first Region A release. What Franco film would I recommend? It's not on there, but let me come back to you on that one, CR, because I want to. I'm going to be diving into my Franco books actually over the next couple of days, and I'll see if I can look through the books, and I'll look through the Severin site, and I'll try to give you some suggestions. Because there's ones that I like, but I want to pick some things that I think aren't going to be a bit too. And when I say challenging, I don't mean that in like in a condescending way. I mean like in a way that you're not going to like want to turn it off. The Severin announcement, Ron, is incredible. This is one of the great announcements of the year. This is big for me. This is way bigger than Nanny Milligan set. This is a great release, and it wins the Nun War going for the halfway sale. This is a big release. You should have bought me the second one, Joel, because I don't own it. Okay, so Guy McGarre's Retribution. I don't know a lot about this film. This is one that's a bit of a blind spot for me. 3-disc limited edition Blu-ray with slipcover plus CD soundtrack. This one is $36. It is region free. Next up is the much more anticipated and anticipated for me too. Over Raiders of Atlantis. I would be more into this one. Thank you, Ron. Is the Joe D'Amato's Endgame. 2-disc limited edition Blu-ray plus CD soundtrack, runs $28. This one is region A as well. Mark Savage is the Blank Gunman, because I gotta stay monetized, guys. Vampire Lesbos, definitely a great idea. Yes, I would recommend the Solid Miranda stuff. Like in general, if you could get 2 of them, like Vampire Lesbos and She Kills in Ecstasy, that's a great starting point for Franco. And for me, and I'm not sure how the Frankenstein feels about it, I think that Vampire Lesbos is a better film than the Count Dracula one they did with Christopher Lee. The Gunman one sounds really interesting. It's only $20. It is region free, and it is an Intervision title, but it's Blu-ray. There's been very few Intervision Blu-ray titles. There's been a couple. I know Queen of Blood was Blu-ray. Free movies and you go for it, man. Pimp your video. That's what anybody that wants a pimp video can do it here. And of course, the 3-disc limited edition 4K Ultra HD Digipack with slipcover, $45, region free. We did not know what that was. We do now that it has been revealed to be Blood for Dracula, the classic Paul Morrissey, Andy Warhol film with a great performance by Udo Kier. It's not actually. Mark Savage is an Australian director, Griff, and for what I've heard, he's actually a pretty good one. Actually, I got to talk to Jamie actually, see if he knows any. If he's got any information on. You're gonna buy it? Oh, nice. We'll get to the price of the bundle and how much Robert Harding there from Ontario is going to spend. Actually, 45 is not too bad for a 4K. You got to admit, it's a 4K with a CD. Let's see. I think it has a CD. I'm pretty sure it has a CD with it. So 4K Blu-ray and a CD more than likely is what the 3 discs are. Your mom and dad told you Blood for Dracula? I will 100% get Blood for Dracula. If I get no other title in the sale, this will be the one title that I will get. One, because I do believe that Flesh for Frankenstein 3D is coming in November from Vinegar Syndrome. And if you're like me and you're halfway subscriber or you're getting the November package for Vinegar Syndrome, hey there, Eddie, welcome. Then you've got Flesh for Frankenstein, you're gonna want Blood for Dracula. The films, they go together. So yes, definitely 100%. They're both gonna be 4K releases, so that'll be fantastic. And here's the big one: mystery Blu-ray title, very limited edition, 2-disc Blu-ray with an unpromotable slipcover. So yes, I do think we got a shark film coming here, guys. Debuts Saturday, June 26th at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Will only be available for the remainder of the sale. It'll be $32. I think that you will be able to put the Jaws Returns right next to your Jaws 5 release. So yeah. Is that more? Had to break the news too. Actually, yes, Elric is 110. Eric's right whenever he talks about stuff. Eric and Brian, extremely, they know their stuff. Pure Cinema Podcast, by the way, guys. You ain't listen to it, you're missing out. You should be listening to it. But the rights holder for these, like, he was apparently hard to work with. So the only way that I can think that this happened, I think it's The Last Shark, Jesse. I think that's what it is that basically it was a two-pronged attack between Vinegar Syndrome and Severin to get those two films, because I don't think they'd just get one of those films. I really don't. If they do, and it's not Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula, and we got to wait later for Flesh for Frankenstein, I'm okay with that. But I don't think that's the case. I think that is something that they probably worked on together. They did do a Noodle Key pin actually a while back. Severin did it again. And you can also buy these in 2 bundles. Let's check out the bundles. First, there's a not bland at all, actually. The brand new limited edition plutonium covered book, After the World Ends. They have 400 copies on hand for this special occasion. Half of them will be available individually priced for $35. The other half will be in the Marauders bundle. See the bundle section, which we're going to get to. Published by Pulse Editions, and it'll be 252 pages. Mushroom cloud of new clearance merchandise. The dystopic bundles. Here we go. We'll be the first day new tongue. We will be debuting 2 unique bundles that will be only available during our mid-year sale. They'll feature new releases. Limited to 300 copies. I would so love to have this one. There's a couple reasons why. Mentioned it to my better half. And my son's birthday was this week, and the rent is next week, so I can't get this bundle. But here we go. The bundle will include 9 brand new mid-year releases, all the stuff we mentioned up above. The wraps for Retribution will be signed by the director and composer Alan Howarth. Yep, that's the big deal for me right there. Composer Alan Howarth, of course, who composed, Halloween 4, for instance. I really wanted that signature. The wraps for The Gunman will be signed by director Mark Savage. The price will be $246. How many limbs had to go, Robert? How many limbs had to go? And the smaller bundle, if you just want the post-nuke stuff and the book, so you can get the Warriors of the Year 2072, Endgame, and Raiders of Atlantis, along with the limited edition post-nuke After the World Ends book. The price for that will be $104. Alan Howarth is amazing, like just amazing. I do my best, Joel. I try and figure it out. It's all people get mad at me sometimes when I try and guess with like the I guess that would be Vampire's Kiss, but yeah. Got the horse also try horse dad. There you go. And I got some try horse books here. So this, so when will I get my order? Let's talk about this. This is important. We'll begin packaging orders immediately after the sale ends. A tracking notification email will be sent to the provided email via our shipping program, ShipStation. Once your order is processed, again, please ensure that your address is free of misspellings, that you've checked all your email folders, spam, junk promotions, etc. Depending on the number of orders that this sale generates, it could take up to 4 weeks for all orders to get processed due to staffing availability. That's important. That's become very important because Raiders of Atlantis, although not my favorite title, is not a bad title. I when I say stuff like that, I think people like take me too much to heart. It's like, oh, he hates that film. I don't actually. It's just not the first I'd get out of the titles. But I with the fact that Blood for Dracula is coming, is in this. That's huge. Raider of Atlantis never been on Blu-ray before. That's a big deal to a lot of people. If you collect post-apocalyptic stuff, that's a huge deal to a lot of people. This book is going to be a big thing, and it's going to sell pretty quickly. So I'm just going to say like right now that get it in early. Shipping could take a bit, and we still don't know what that like secret title is. There's that secret like June 26th title. It has the potential to be one of their biggest sales ever, in my opinion. And I think Jay's right. I love reading Jay's stuff on like Facebook, by the way, because he's always guessing like what the next title could be for like Vinegar Syndrome, or suggesting titles, or Severin, which and sometimes like it's to the point where I think that it's been announced when I'm reading your stuff, man. I'm like, oh wow, that's the new one coming out. Then I'm like, oh I know that's what he wants to come out. So you're very active on the pages. Shipping. U.S. residents must spend over $100 to get free shipping. So free shipping is something that is eligible here during the sale. I know that Vinegar Syndrome turns out free shipping during the sale, so this is actually kind of neat. The Canadian residents, that's me, must spend $150 or over to get free shipping. Might as well have regular and unlimited editions later on. A few of them. We'll actually kind of go through that. Hey there, man. Hope you're enjoying Disneyland. Dude, come on. Blood for Dracula, man. You have to admit, you got to admit, Jose, this is at least a higher quality like film. Even though I like the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that then was announced in the halfway sale. Like it really is. Criterion put this one out, man. There you go. Criterion put this one out. All other countries. So if you live in the UK, you live in like Norway, Sweden. I know like a lot of people from like different countries. Then if you get $200 or more, then you will get free shipping. We'll be doing a hard-hitting interview with David Gregory. Well, you could, Master Chaos, this time you can let Severin know that I have been pimping their sale, and I've been a big fan of it, actually. Especially now that there's no Vampire's Kiss coming. I think it's one to own. I mean, like, even if it's not your favorite title, I think that it's one that's worthy of owning. Like, I myself, that this movie, it's I saw this one in a theater when I was in my teen years, and the line, the line, it stuck with me. And I love Udo Kier. I really do. I like his stuff. They put it in Udo Kier pin out, I think, when they did their the really gory anthology film that they put out. I'm so jealous of you and your trip to Disney. I don't think I tagged you in this one for that. Maybe I did tag you. I felt guilty tagging you because I knew you were in Disney. That's the thing. The free shipping has been raised. But at least there's free shipping, which is not available through my other one. Well, Vinegar Syndrome released Flesh for Frankenstein. Or will Severin do a dick move and release it on Black Friday? No, Severin's not releasing. They said they're not releasing Flesh for Frankenstein at all. But Black Friday has a 3D, an important 3D title coming from for the 3D/4K title coming from Vinegar Syndrome. And if you don't think that's going to be Flesh for Frankenstein, I really do. I really think that both of these are smaller companies at the end of the day. There's a few people that work with them. I think that this was probably a joint collaboration between Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. I think that these were not easy titles to get. Like somebody said, I already spoke about it on the channel before. Yes, don't post about Great White Man. They'll get in trouble. I think it's coming, but don't post about it. They won't be able to put it out. They take some risky chances. I have to explore Star Wars Land. Oh, man, take pictures. And enjoy your time. But yeah, I think that this was in order to get these titles, I think that they probably had worked together. I do. I think that that's behind the scenes. We're not going to know about it. But Flesh for Frankenstein, I really am. I would be very shocked if it doesn't come out in November from Vinegar Syndrome. I think this is where it's going. Maybe we'll see. Maybe once we get the release in our hands, maybe there'll be some type of hint or some type of clue. We'll see something there. This is a 4K remaster, so it should be interesting. Vinegar Syndrome has done some decent 4K remasters, so that's going to be cool. Well, I am super stoked. This is something that I'm going to 100% say. I went from being mildly interested in the sale to last night being very interested in the sale to this morning really knowing that I want to be there when the sale starts. Important thing to know. And if you're a patron, if you're a part of the Crimson Cult, what a horrible accent that was, then on just the same as we did on the Vinegar Syndrome one, we will be doing an exclusive live shopping together video during the sale. Is Vinegar Syndrome the equivalent of Trauma? Oh my God, no, man. I love Trauma, but no. Vinegar Syndrome is equivalent to Criterion as a label. Like closer to that. It's getting closer to that. Maybe a bit better because at least they're doing 4K. But Trauma would be more equivalent to something like a Full Moon. In the evening, actually. It'll be 11:59 in the evening. I like the boutique labels now, it's changed. Like at one time, Criterion was the biggest label, and they have their diehard fans. But Arrow is probably the biggest label going right now when it comes to releases. As overall quality release. Arrow, Indicator, around there. Severin and Vinegar Syndrome are definitely up there for me in type of releases. And as they go on and they do stuff. Is my dad or better half interested in any of the Severin sale titles? Jesse, my better half is interested in the post-apocalyptic sale titles. Unfortunately, there's a reason I'm going to be doing I'm doing a lot of videos this week and hoping for some donations because I'm I at this point I can get 1 or 2 titles from the sale. Are you let down by Blood? Are you serious, Logan? This. You literally made a song about Criterion. You made a Criterion song, man. You made a Criterion song. This is a Criterion title, an early Criterion title. Hey there, Richard. Welcome, man. So I will shill the hell out of my channel this week, and I will have my donation thing down below, and hopefully a generous viewer will come along, or somebody will win a lotto and help me out. I can't believe you let down by Blood of Dracula. See, I love both these titles. I saw Blood of Dracula in the theater, like when I was in my teens, and it stood out to me. Like how he has to have the blood of the Virgin, but unfortunately, you're actually more excited about Scream coming in 4K. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Scream is coming on 4K. Well, you're not going to be excited in November, Logan, because I am predicting that November is going to have that 3D release that Vinegar Syndrome is putting out. That's going to be Flesh for Frankenstein. I'm predicting that right now. Thank you, Richard. It's a big deal. Like the thing that we got, the one thing to take out of this is look at what Vinegar Syndrome put out for the halfway sale. Look at what Severin put out for the halfway sale. There is definitely a big difference in the way that it's done. Oh, I 100%, Jay. I think that the November title is going to be Flesh for Frankenstein for Vinegar Syndrome, a important 3D title that hasn't come out. All the important ones have come out except for Flesh for Frankenstein. Okay, this is. I got to put this up on the screen because I love this comment. About the human condition and Criterion, 9.5 hours long, historically, culturally, artistically important, and they threw it in a basic case. I looked at my scanner's cop and I cried. Yeah. It takes a while to get some of them sent out. The sale was really popular. So both films, when we were a kid, haven't seen them with adult eyes. That may make a difference, Logan. I should treat my wife to the post-apocalyptic bundle with the book. I would. I so would. I wish I could. Severin is brewing Drop Dead Fred. I do like Rick Mayhall, but it's not my favorite Rick Mayhall film. Why don't they put them together, Blood and Flesh for Frankenstein? Because I think that they're being done by 2 different companies. I think that Severin is doing one and Vinegar Syndrome is doing the other. And they're being spaced out. Severin's basically Severin. This makes sense. Let's get a little conspiratorial here. Let's get a little X-Files-ish. There's for the people that remembers X-Files. Vinegar Syndrome had a good, solid halfway package. Solid. It was solid. Severin's halfway package is better, and it's coming with Blood for Dracula. it looks like a very solid package coming out. We don't know what titles are yet for the Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday titles. Recommendations for people new to Severin. What type of titles do you like? What type of films do you like? Before I give recommendations. And we could be getting the Fresh for Frankenstein on Black Friday from Vinegar Syndrome. So it was a trade-off. They could have put both these on the same time. They probably could have put them out at the same range, but Severin gets the halfway sale to put out their title of Blood for Dracula. Vinegar Syndrome gets Black Friday to put out Flesh for Frankenstein. That's my thoughts, man. I could be totally wrong, but that's my thoughts. If I'm wrong, you guys can feel free to come on when November comes and tell me how wrong I am. But let's hope that you don't have to. Severin's a better sale because it's going to be cheaper too. But Scanner Cop is amazing, man. That's a great release. For those that are nice enough, generous enough to hit me up with the donations, please use the donation link because when you use the super chat, unfortunately, the money gets taken. Like 40% of the money gets taken away from me and goes straight to the coppers of YouTube. So let's look at some stuff here. Purdue Durango is fantastic. Day of the Beast, Santa Sangria, Bottle on Chodi. Oh, you got some great taste, man. Lindsay Baker for sure. But what do we want to do right now is we want to look, because we know it's on sale now. So we're just going to scoot right up past this stuff here, go right to the sale stuff, because we're going to look at exactly what sale prices are, because this confuses people all the time. And I want to make sure that you guys go in to this here knowing exactly what type of prices that you can be looking for. So I guess Theater Bazaar would be the first one. And Theater Bazaar is listed as $20 for the standard edition. So right there, you have that. The Theater Bazaar Blu-ray would be $10. But it's not always going to be that simple. That's still Tales of the Uncanny. You like documentaries? I recommend this one a lot, actually. You like anthology films too? You're going to love this one. But I want to get to like a regular, newer title. Okay, let's go to Black Cat. This should do it. All right. Now here we go. The Black Cat is $24, but that's its sale price. Its regular MSRP price is $29.98. So the Black Cat will cost you approximately $15. Not sure, because I did not say an RSP title like price up there. I would say 15 to be sure. Like, to be safe, I'll say 15. But where it's not showing another price, I just got to go by the price that's there and say 10. No, this is the Black Cat done by Darren Nicolotti. With I think was it Cozy who directed this? Yeah, Lucio Cozy. But you can see, like, when you're looking at when you did Vinegar Syndrome sale, for instance, you look at the price that's in yellow. Oh, for here, you're looking at the price that's in gray. That $29.98, you want to half that price. Yeah, the unofficial third Mother film, and far superior to Mother of Tears. Not hard to do, but you're correct. And for people that still collect DVDs, right here is the DVD edition. I don't know why I get the Blu-ray edition of Patrick Still Lives, which will be $10. Like, you can buy some DVDs here and get like really cheap stuff. Comic books will be on sale. The So Sweet, So Perverse. A lot of nudity in that comic, so not for the kids. Things like Shock Treatment, Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. You'll be able to choose between the slipcover edition and the non-slipcover edition to see the difference in the price. Let's just check one of them out. So the slipcover edition of this one is $34. So $35 really. So you're going to pay $17.50 for the for this on sale. The non-slipcover edition of Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, it's only slipcover that you're paying for the difference of. Sometimes there'll be a CD included, but I think this one's only slipcover because I got it here. Is going to be $30, so it's going to be $15. So it's going to be $2.50 of the difference between getting the slipcover and not getting the slipcover. Some people are like, oh, it's a bit more to get the slipcover. Why is it going to cost me $17 to get the slipcover? And the way I'm going to put that, do I still buy VHS or Laserdisc? I do actually, but not very often. Is this. And I think this is the important way to put this. When you go to a Vinegar Syndrome sale and you pick up a legacy slipcover, just say you got the movie on its own, and it's costing you $7, right, to buy the slipcover, or you're buying the film with the slipcover for the extra price. I don't think that paying $2.50 extra for the slipcover on Severin is very bad at all. Actually, hey there, Josephine, welcome. Getting down on the spider figures, guys. And of course, if you want the Cool Jaws Sharkmania bandana, I think my biggest disappointment with this one is I expected this to actually say Sharkmania. They didn't. Now you got to give them credit, Jay. They did not crash during the last sale. They crashed during the sale before that, but they didn't crash during the last sale. If you like a good sleazy read, if you like your book sleazy with lots of nudity and with lots of sex and stuff, check out the Cruel Jaws novelization. The neat thing about this is a novel that was made. This wasn't like, oh, we reprinted the novelization of Cruel Jaws. No, they went out and got somebody to write a novelization of Cruel Jaws. I'll show you when the slipcovers them in next day, Jerry. You don't have the So Sweet So Perverse one? Severin titles aren't more expensive than Vinegar Syndrome. Actually, it's just the opposite. Just here, let's put you in. Let's go to Vinegar Syndrome. Shoot, we can't because partner labels are up. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll go there anyway. We'll look at a partner label. Just to give a comparison. The average title right here, and I got mine put into Canadian, so we'll just put it in American prices. It's euros. Okay. Is anywhere between $25 to $27 for regular title, $42 for the 4K release. I am a very big fan of pulp novels, actually. So, yeah, it's definitely comparable, but they're not more expensive. If anything, like when you go to the limit, when the sale goes on, the MSRP is cheaper on Severin than they are on Vinegar Syndrome. I think what happens is that a lot of people were used to Severin not having an MSRP. So when they did a sale, it was like insanely cheap when you went to buy a title because there's no MSRP. It was just a 50% off whatever that price was. And when they changed that during the last sale, a lot of people got very upset and said, well, look how expensive they are. They didn't really get that much more expensive. And we can see things here like Enigma. Demonia, of course, is North American only, so just know that. I should have right here a couple Severin releases because I'm watching a few now where it is kind of my month of Severin. Let's see if I can find one. All right, this is a good one. All right, let's do this. So this here is Blood on Satan's Claw. This is out of print, but you will be able to buy this during the Severin sale. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous looking slip. Is it like a harder stock like the Vinegar Syndrome? No, it's not. Is it like hard to get out? No, really not at all. It's snug enough, but it's not too snug. So it's not like an earlier Severin or the Undertaker slip that came from Vinegar Syndrome. And I'll just let you see a close-up of the slip cover here because I really think this is a gorgeous one. You can see me putting it back in. But first, the thing that Severin has that a lot of companies don't do, especially if you want to compare them with Vinegar Syndrome, for instance, is that they do CD soundtracks for a lot of their releases. So Blood on Satan's Claw comes with a CD soundtrack that has 26 tracks on it. And there will be a picture for it right here. Is Baskin OP? I don't know, actually. I'd have to check. I don't think so, but don't quote me on it. And now let's put it back in. As you can see, there's different artwork, so the slip and the art are not the same. So as you can see, just put it in right. We want to make sure it doesn't do the VSA thing, right? It slides in, slides out. So not a hard one. And I would recommend this title, actually. Especially if you're going to be watching or eventually buying the Cure La Jeunesse folklore horror documentary that's coming out. The soundtracks are what won me over with Severin. Over everything else, I really like the titles, and they do a lot of stuff that I like. I don't think I grabbed the only one that's not tight, man. And just to show you that I did not grab the only one that's not tight. Though I know you're joking. Should have more here. Do I have all on slips here? I do, don't I? Well, you're gonna have to trust me because it's not right. Because I can't find any more here. Well, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Here we go. Here we go. This is the Uncanny slip from Severin. I actually love this film. Do the same thing you do with the VSI. You got to make sure. So it'll catch, right? I always like to make sure it don't catch. So this one is even less tight. So there you go. Hopefully this helped out a bit. You said Stray Cat Rock, and I do have those films, but I thought about the band, actually, to be honest with you. I love the black cases that Severin used now for the releases. I'm a really big fan of the black cases. I think they had like a quality and a different like kind of style to what they do. And they have like loaded up on features with a lot of their newer releases. Let me just grab, so hopefully don't fall on my ass, I guess. A couple randos. Okay, that's Shout Factory. But here is, of course, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory. This is the first time this was uncut. This was like the people say this is just a normal cheesy film. You should better purchase them during the sale. Actually, I think. I think so. I'm glad you love Alley Cat. See, that's one I think people should pick up. People pass on that one. So this one here, of course, has a soundtrack. You can see right here. I do try to keep the stickers. And it has a comic book. So Where from a Girl's Dormitory comes with a comic. So yeah, this is a like photo comic on the inside. And a CD soundtrack. And The Beast in Heat, which is a Nazi exploitation. But if you're going to get a Nazi exploitation at all, if you're interested in it, then this is the one to get first. It's not my favorite. Like Ilsa is definitely my favorite of that type. But this has a documentary called Fascism on a Thread: The Strange Story of Nazi Exploitation Cinema. A feature-length documentary on it. So definitely worth checking out. I think you're ragging on a bit much, Jesse, man. Some of them, well, some of them don't, and some of them, like all companies do, they put some stuff away for conventions. Unlike Vinegar Syndrome has a store, the archive. So Vinegar Syndrome will take a certain amount of titles and they'll put into the archive to sell at the store. Severin doesn't have a store, so they either have to sell at a convention or sell them during sale time. But they know if they sell them across the board, then that's then people are going to get upset because they're limited edition. Oh my God, is she ever? She did not make enough films, man. What the hell? The last film she made was Avenging Angel. Actually, she gets cut off early in that, unfortunately. I need a tissue. Hold on a second. Just gotta grab tea. Sorry about that, guys. Hey there, Semitech. Welcome. What's that? Sorry, we're going to some commentators are bringing. That's okay, man. I want you to never be sorry for saying something in here, unless you're being like a jerk type of thing, which you're not, by the way. And I would never consider you one. Just put that in here. Not Ishtar. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people want that film. I just, man, that was a bad cinema experience for me. Ishtar was a bad cinema experience for me. But hopefully they'll work it out. But that does happen sometimes. You'll see that happen. Like, remember when Cruel Jaws was like canceled for years, and then we managed to get it? I'm pretty blunt, so that's okay, man. I was super blunt about Vampire's Kiss. A bunch of people hated me, but hopefully they got over that. Because one thing that to know about my channel, I'm a collector, same as every one of you. I don't get a lot of stuff sent to me by a lot of different companies. I luck out sometimes with certain ones, but most of the time, like you guys, I'm saving up, pinching my pennies, trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to buy from where. So one of the things for this channel, and hopefully it comes across some person, somebody didn't like it, so they left, but is that aside from getting chatting, you literally get a bird's eye view of a collector's journey. Well, I wasn't wrong. I said, because I said, like I said, I hope it's not Vampire's Kiss. I said I was worried it's Vampire's Kiss. But I said if it's Vampire's Kiss, and I still stand by it, it could not have anchored the sale. It would have done badly for the sale, in my opinion. But some people would have bought it. But and I would have bought it on a sale price, but I would not buy Vampire's Kiss at a full price. But this Warlock, this is worthy. This is a worthy one. One of the three most Must buy titles in the Severin sale. Never participated in a sale before. It really depends on what you like Cinematheque. I love Giallo, so the Lindsay Baker box set. If you don't have it, it's going to be on sale. Like right there. That's one fantastic one. It's got like 4. I see. I do too. Like Ragman. Here's the thing: people like hated on me for my Vampire's Kiss stuff. I actually own the film. It's not that I don't like it. I was just being honest from a business standpoint of like, yeah, it's not something to anchor a sale on. Obviously, they didn't think so either because Blood for Dracula is what's there. And yes, Blood for Dracula is an amazing title. It is a huge get for Severin Films. This puts this sale into a different level. Like if you're good on the post-apocalyptic stuff, that's fantastic. But this is an X-Criterion release that a lot of people have tried to get the rights to many, many times, and have always been like turned away. So the fact that they were able to do this and pull this off is a massive achievement for the company. And props to David Gregory and all the guys behind Severin Films. You need Logan. You need that box set. And I want to know what your thoughts on the song is, because there's a song you're going to hear it a lot in the first film, Orgasmo, aka Paranoia. And the cool thing is, and I recommend this, anybody that's getting the Lindsay Baker box set, I'm going to tell you this right now, watch the films in the order that they came in. How the hell did you get an uncut version of The Devils? Hey there, Al, welcome. Because that's impossible to find unless you got like a shady version of The Devils, because it hasn't been out yet, as far as I know. Because I got the BFI edition of The Devils, and that's the most uncut that's been out, and even that one's cut. And even my regular nefarious sources couldn't find it. So congratulations, man. That's actually a coup. That makes sense. It's a bootleg, Kubrick. Good for you, man. Good find. Orgasm is the strongest in set and ends on the weakest. Agreed, 100%. And even the weakest is good, but it's different. You get to see Carol Baker play very different roles. They haven't said. They said that the Black Manuel set is going to take longer because they have found more films that need to be remastered and that they're going to put into the set. This looks like it's going to be a massive set. I hope that we're going to get a Laura Gemser documentary and maybe a Joe D'Amato documentary within this. I know there is a Joe D'Amato documentary out there because I used to have it, and it runs about 2 hours long. It was done in 2 parts over 2 films, I think. So I would say that it should be probably, and this is just guesstimating, just so you know, is Black Friday. 1, it gives them time to get all the features, get the films remastered, get them all together. 2, Black Emmanuel on Black Friday, it kind of writes itself, doesn't it? Like it does, really. It kind of writes itself, doesn't it? For me, the first 3 films are pretty much almost a tie across the board and how good they are. And the 4th one dips in quality a bit, but it's still a really good film. It's just a different film. There's a different feel with the 4th film than the first 3. Doesn't mean that it's bad, but it's just different. So it'll be interesting to see. And I do like the Black Manuel films. I do like Lord Gemser. I'm a big fan of Lord Gemser. So I am actually very excited about. That's the only box that I'm excited about, like this year. It's coming in the second half of the year. Like aside, I want to get the. Eventually, I'll get the Arrow, like the Western one. Yes, the difference is Carol keeps her clothes on. That's one. I can't say all differences, but that's one of the differences. And they do this like sequence at the beginning of the film, a bullfighting sequence, and it makes no bloody sense, like to the film, in that it has nothing to do with the film. It adds nothing to the film. But we see this bull like getting like stabbed at the beginning of the film. They're at a bullfighting sequence. Oh, the ending orgasm was great. Do you have the T-shirt, Sierra? I bought the bundle with the T-shirt. If you don't, recommend the shirt. Like grab the shirt during the sale. It's probably gonna be on sale too, and it's really soft. What's my favorite Emmanuel film? It's gonna sound boring, but it might be Emmanuel, the original Silver Crystal one. Though, if you meant, do you mean Black Emmanuel? Then I'm not quite sure. There's a few that I like. Ironically, I don't like cannibal films, but I really do like Emmanuel in the last Cannibal. That's actually a particularly good Emmanuel film. And the neat thing about the Lord Gemser Emmanuel films is that whereas Sylvia Crystals and the other actors that came into them, Chris Allen, all those people, they're more like an experience in discovering your sexuality. There's of course the Black Emmanuel films that they're called, and those are basically she's a reporter in most of the films. Some of the ones were kind of the Italian knockoff ones. She's not, but in most of them she's a reporter. And so there's more of like an action adventure aspect to it, along with all the softcore scenes. And of course, there is the Italian ones where it's not Silver Crystal or Lord Gemser or any of those people, but it's kind of a knockoff character, and that would be Emmanuel with one end. What about in America? I don't believe the snuff thing in America. People say that there's been like rumors, there's a snuff sequence in America. For me, I think that's an urban legend. I got it here somewhere. I haven't really got through it yet. It's a bit of a weird one. Joe D'Amato did that one, I think. It's an okay one, but it was never my favorite. See, the Changeling, and let's get to that for a second. Warlock just mentioned The Changeling, by the way, which is a fantastic film starring Gordon C. Scott. And if you don't own it, it's one of the great, like not just great Severin films, one of the great like haunted films of all time. One of the great like it's just incredible. And I think a lot of the reason that some of us, myself included, initially thought that Martin was coming from when we saw those plastic fangs was for one simple reason. People say, well, why did you think that? Why did you jump to that conclusion? Well, because the last time when Severin put out the big, release of The Changeling, Second Sight put out their release of The Changeling as well. So you see plastic fangs, Severin put out like The Changeling, Second Sight put out The Changeling, Second Sight's putting out Martin. It's not a hard jump to make. I think they did have to have an MSRP eventually. They did sell those things for fairly cheap. And come on, let's be honest, like $15 or $16 for like a premium title with like a CD soundtrack is not a lot. Both releases are good. If you're in the UK and you can get the big edition of the Severin, the Second Sight, like the Second Sight Changeling release, definitely recommend it. I have the limited edition, like a release that came here in North America, and it has the soundtrack as well, which I thought was fantastic. Yep, Severin helped Second Sight with the extras for Dawn of the Dead. See, welcome Disconnected. By the way, this is Disconnected. If you are not subscribed to this guy's channel, you are missing out because he has an amazing channel. What is the worst Emmanuel knockoff? Some of the knockoffs are actually better than some of the actual films, Cinematech, to be honest with you. There are later Emmanuel films that are just not as good. There's also the Emmanuel TV series. There's a Emmanuel like series of films like Emmanuel in Space that are I do like because Krista Allen is in them. And if you've ever seen Krista Allen, she actually played what's her name? Billy on Days of Our Lives. She was one of the Billies. Lisa Ren was Billy, and then she took over. Oh, I will be doing two couch. I will be doing a video here on my channel, on my regular channel, pre-sale, where we're going to talk about like, hyping up, getting ready, getting for the sale. About 45 minutes before the sale goes live, I'll be going on to the Patreon channel, and we're going to do a countdown. And did you actually meet her, Warlock? I'm so jealous, man. And we'll be shopping together. Matt, well, you know what's happening, man. A lot of Dracula's coming on 4K. And Logan's not happy, but I'm happy. Logan, by the way, will be joining me. You're still joining me, right, man? I'm not sure if Logan's here. Logan's going to be joining me on the day of the Severin sale. I don't have very much money for Ragman. You see that like donation link that's scrolling down along the channel? That's why. That's blunt. I'm blunt. I'm honest. That's why. Been Patriot since day one. Thank you so much, by the way. Hopefully you'll be there for the Severin one. There, Logan's right there. Perfect. Aren't they? Mon Macaro's not happy about it. Like they only put out a couple like Black Emmanuel films, and they've already sold. Like their limited editions are sold out, and they definitely sold a bunch of copies of Manuel in America. So I can't see them being too upset about it. Has there been any talk? Like I don't like go on the forums as much anymore because people are mean to me. To be honest with you, on Blu-ray.com, people can be mean to me. And I try to stay away from that. We don't know yet, Jesse. The July's titles should probably be announced either the last of June or right on the first day of July. They've started to announce things around the first of the month when it comes to the titles. I'm very excited because, of course, for me, it's my first subscription titles. There are 3 titles. He did? Did he say that? Coming in July. Let me just see what they are right now. So the 3 titles are coming. Like I don't know what titles are, but there's a 70s proto slasher, an 80s regional horror film, and an 80s monster film. I just read it. The other one's coming out, so that you guys will know. In August, Vinegar Syndrome is playing at 4 Vinegar Syndrome releases, which includes Tough Dies Don't Dance, which has, of course, worst line rating of all time, Girl Squirrel Screamers, 1 box set, and 1 UHD. And if you got the Peakorama, then the Peakorama is coming out there. September, you're going to get 4 more releases, a Never Ending Slasher, and you're also going to get Shallow Grave from 1987, a double feature Giallo, another Nothing Underneath and Too Beautiful to Die, and the insane Devil Story. And if you like Peakoramas, you're going to get that. In October, you're going to get 4 releases, which are going to be 2 box sets, a Never on Blue slasher film, a crazy supernatural slasher, and of course, you get Peakorama, you get that. And in November, there is, where the hell is it at now? One 4K UHD horror release. That scared the crap out of me. 1 3D Blu-ray 4K UHD release. Flesh Frankenstein. 3 other horror films. So, a bunch of stuff. That's it. We can watch this movies. We can do some. Maybe sometime what we'll do, Logan, is we'll Siskel and Ebert a couple of these films. Deadly Spawn will be out. I would love to get Deadly Spawn. I'm really surprised. Last House on Dead End Street. I'm not sure if something happened with the elements. It's taken them so long. Nothing Underneath. It's so Too Beautiful to Die. Like there are 2 80s Jallos. Clive Barton's Transmutations Underworld. That'd be interesting. Looking forward to this Giallo with Pleasant eating spaghetti at Wendy's. Who isn't, right? I love it's like if you got the movie Absurd, which came out from Severin, and I do recommend it. It's a really good film. It's much better in my opinion to Anthropophagus, which is more of a gore fest. George Eastman, extremely talented man, but because of his size and because of his look, he often played a lot of like these big hulking characters, right? I did pre-order 2 of the partner titles. I got the Mail Order Murder, and I pre-ordered the films of William Lee, The Treasure of the Ninja. I'm going to say you're pretty alone in that uh, in that view of the changing Kubrick. That's okay. Everybody likes their own stuff. Yeah, there's a scene in Absurd where basically they're really trying hard to make the movie look like it's American. They're really going hard on it because they're all about. You get a guy that's so excited about football. The Emily in Paris, this man. So for those that know what Emily in Paris is, it was a horrible TV series that came on Netflix. That's getting a second season for some reason. But basically, they're American. They're so excited about getting back for the football that they run a guy over and they just go on. They don't even think about it. And so they get back to their place and everybody's getting ready to watch the football. And they're doing what everybody does when they're watching a football game. They're eating plates of pasta because, of course, you do. Of course, you do. Mail Order Murder does look incredible. And it does have a bonus film on their Disconnected. We get Wave of Terror, which is an anthology film with which is kind of like two mini films put together to be a film. And there's a music video as well. They're planning on buying all that Argento 4Ks there eventually, Ragman. Right now, where we're moving and like things are more limited, like when it comes to when it comes to that, I have to pick and choose. That's the reason that I got the subscription from Vinegar Syndrome. It was a big cost right out of the gate. But it's if there's months that I can't get anything or something, at least I know I get something, right? Hey, greetings from Melbourne. Thank you. I'm not sure. Melbourne's big. Anyway, so Jamie Blanks, also from Melbourne, is here a lot, actually. You're new to collecting disc. I'm glad it has, man. Anytime you got any questions or anything that you want to know, definitely the Severin sales coming up. We're very excited about, of course, I'm excited. Not everybody is excited about Blood for Dracula. Actually, when I move, I'm not going to be able to buy from some places because, to be bluntly honest, it's different. Four Flies, I would say I expect an Arrow release down the road. I don't think it's going to come Severin. I don't think it's going to become the Vinegar Syndrome. I think this is going to be an Arrow release, and they're working with Shameless. They've been pretty much Shameless. They're Shameless's distributor now. I could see that coming down the road. Like right now, all you got is like the Blu-ray, like the yellow Blu-ray, and that's not a bad Blu-ray actually from Shameless. But I think if you want to see it, if you're wondering when you're going to get like a 4K or a really big special edition for and what company's going to do it for Four Flies, then definitely look towards Arrow Video. But yeah, for me, it would be impossible for them to ship, especially some of the titles that I get wouldn't ship. Like I could. Yes, actually you do, and actually I got that. I'm watching that tonight. Actually, I got the queued up to watch tonight. Disconnected's got a really cool video. I started it at work, but I want to finish it later on collecting the labels, including a Severin one that he recently did. So that one is actually and so for those that don't know, Disconnected knows his crap when it comes to this stuff. He has every Vinegar Syndrome title. Like, just let that sink in. Every title. Every single one. I have not watched Champagne and Bullets yet. I don't expect to be as disappointed as Master Chaos. Honestly, I think a lot of people went in are going to go in expecting to see like a Neil Breen or an Action USA type of film, and they're not going to get that. It's definitely more of a it's more, I guess, of a weird drama type of thing. It'll be fun. It's not, but it's not going to be a Neil Breen like level type of thing. A bit of both, actually, probably the rights and elements. But Shameless, which is a much smaller company, Matt, were able to get it, and that's obviously that was a big deal. When I went to, I think it was in London actually. I was at, I think it was at, don't quote me, but I was at FOP. I think it was at FOP when I found Fort Fozzie Grey Velvet. It is. No, yeah. If you don't go into Champagne Bullets, please don't go in expecting an action film. You're not going to get it. You're going to get a lot of talking and some singing and stuff like that, and you're going to get like action in the last of the film. Dude, Warlock, when you get that Night Beast like model thing, like if find a way to send me a picture, I'm actually kind of curious. But for me, like, and I said it during like when the announcements were made. Alley Cat is the one out of those two, is the VSI. That's the gem out of the two there. People are going, well, Champagne and Bullets, Alley Cat's the gem. That's the one. That's the one you're gonna have fun with, guys. That's when you're gonna watch more. I'll be looking for it. Scanner's Cobb is definitely the big winner for their halfway. But yeah, definitely Alley Cat. You're gonna get a lot of action. You're gonna get a lot of you like the nudity. You're gonna get a lot of nudity. A lot of nudity. All the nudity. All you're wondering, like, I just watched this film. There's no nudity. I guess I'll put on Alley Cat so I can get all the nudity, because Alley Cat has all the nudity. Scanner's Cobb's set is definitely the big release for Vinegar Syndrome this month. I would say that Blood for Dracula, just because it's something, Warlock, for instance, that nobody thought was going to get released because the rights were that hard. That is definitely, it's got to shine. You got to shine a light on the fact that this is something that nobody thought could happen. The more awkward sex scenes, yeah, it does actually. Definitely more sex scenes too. Griff has to run, but so do I actually. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming in and joining me here tonight. I'm going to try to do more consistent videos if I can do them like throughout the week. I'm going to do as many as I possibly can. Frank Stallone, I would love that. As you know, this is coming out on Blu-ray, so I'm soon going to watch. I'm going to rewatch and probably review this one here, Death Ring. I am Aaron. This is the Call to Cinema. You guys are the Call to Cinema. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me here today. And I should hopefully, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. Either way, I'll see you soon right here on the Call to Cinema. Watch a good movie. Pet a kitty cat. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you soon.